Breaking news, 2 guns were found in a student's apartment on campus yesterday morning. Campus police was alerted to the situation by several other students and immediately took action. A handgun and a semi-automatic weapon were found and immediately removed, and the student has been expelled from OC. Officials say there is no evidence as of right now for intent to use the weapon. We'll keep you updated as the story unfolds. Reporting for Eagle Angle, I'm Becca Kashork.
Tonight on Eagle Angle, we hear about a white supremacy group targeting local colleges,
learn about some local fun for this Halloween season,
and get a full sports report on all of your favorite OC teams. All this and more tonight on Eagle Angle.
Hello and welcome to Eagle Angle. I'm Elijah Johnson.
I'm Reagan Meyer. Eagle Angle is a student-produced newscast live from the campus of Oklahoma Christian University.
Our top story tonight, an investigation has been launched after several reports of propaganda being found on campus from a known white supremacy group. Becca Kashork has the story.
There have been several reports that propaganda has been placed on both OC and UCO's campuses by a known white supremacy group called Patriot Front. The first sighting was over a week ago when a couple students told campus police that there were stickers and posters found in several of the buildings around campus. Campus police then alerted local law enforcement and FBI and did a sweep of all the buildings on campus to remove the propaganda. Just days later, more was found. Administration has released a statement to the student body that no form of white supremacy is welcome on this campus. Chief of Campus Police urges students not to be afraid because no actual threat has been made towards any group of people at this time.
At this point, I'm not looking at it as an active threat against any, even though it's a white supremacist group, I'm not looking at it as a active threat targeting anybody here because we haven't had that type of a threat yet directed at one person or a group.
Given that, campus police is still taking the matter very seriously and urges students that may find those posters and stickers around campus not to touch or remove them, but to call campus police immediately. You can get into contact with them at 405-425-5500. Reporting for Eagle Angle, I'm Becca Kashork.
Summer may seem like a long way off, but it's never too early to start making your summer internship plans. The Center for Global Missions is offering a mission internship program for the summer of 2020. These mission internships are 6 to 8 weeks and are designed to give you first-hand experience into the cross-cultural life while serving around the world. Locations include Northern Ireland, Tanzania, Greece, Austria, Singapore, New Zealand, Colombia, Uganda, and possibly Japan. Applications are available in your student announcements. Any major can apply. If you have any questions, you can email ben.langford@oc.edu.
OC is offering a 4-week self-defense seminar from October 28th to November 18th. It will be taught by Sherry Lee and take place on Mondays from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. in PAC 202. Registration is not required but encouraged so they have an idea how many are planning to come. A link to a registration form is available in the student announcements.
We're excited to be starting a new segment this week, and Becca Kashork is in the studio to tell us all about it. What do you have in store for us, Becca?
Thanks, Reagan. As college students, it can be hard sometimes to get away from the hustle and bustle of campus and enjoy ourselves, especially on a budget. I'm going to show different places in the Edmond and Oklahoma City area that will be perfect for you to grab a group of friends and enjoy yourself on a weekend or after classes. This week, I got in the true spirit of Halloween with the Sanctuary Haunted House. If you're looking for a good scare this Halloween season, the Sanctuary in downtown Oklahoma City has it all. Now, I will warn you, some of these images are a bit gruesome, but I assure you it is all fake. The haunted house is known for its state-of-the-art special effects and a Hollywood movie-style set design. They advertise that your experience will be walking through a living, breathing horror movie. It's open at 8 p.m. on Friday and Saturday nights through November 2nd, and general admission is only $15 per person. This is such an awesome opportunity to get out on the weekend with some friends and celebrate Halloween at the same time.
Well, thank you, Becca. I'll have to go check it out with some friends. All right, now for our national news. The police officer who killed a woman in her home in Fort Worth has been arrested and charged with murder. CNN's Lucy Kavanaugh has more.
The officer tendered his resignation this morning. Had the officer not resigned, I would have fired him for violations of several policies.
Tonight, Fort Worth police announcing the white police officer who shot and killed 28-year-old Atatiana Jefferson is no longer on the force. The black woman was playing video games with her 8-year-old nephew inside her own home.
Aaron Dean, ID 4598, was the officer who responded to the call and fired the shot that killed Atatiana. The officer still faces criminal charges from the major case investigation.
This as Jefferson's family and community are calling for the federal government to step in.
Fort Worth PD cannot investigate themselves. This man murdered someone. He should be arrested.
Saturday around 2:25 a.m., police responded to a non-emergency call from a man concerned for his neighbor's safety.
Well, the front doors have been open since 10 o'clock, and I haven't seen anybody moving around. It's not normal for them to have both of the doors open this time of night.
James Smith says his neighbor, an elderly woman with a heart condition, lives with her daughter, Atatiana, who worked in pharmaceutical equipment sales. Smith says he knew Jefferson was at home at the time, taking care of her sister's little boy. Minutes after his call to police, officers arrived at the house. This heavily edited body camera video released by Fort Worth police shows a male officer who never identified himself walking around the home. He shines a flashlight towards a dark room, yells verbal commands, opening fire 2 seconds later.
Put your hands up! Show me your hands!
Jefferson was pronounced dead inside her bedroom.
My son, who was there to witness the event, he told me because the police had shot his aunt. And at that time, I knew nothing about that. So he was the one who actually told me what happened.
Tonight, questions remain as to why that officer did not announce that he was a police officer before firing.
Justice! We want it now! We want justice!
Sunday, the community held a candlelight vigil for Jefferson.
I stand here in support of a beautiful 28-year-old who was senselessly gunned down in her home. A haven, her home, a place she should have been safe.
Saturday's shooting is the 9th police shooting this year involving Fort Worth police, 7 of them deadly.
This happened Saturday. Why this man is not in handcuffs right now is a source of continued agitation for this family and for this community.
Now, Jefferson's neighbor, James Smith, is wrestling with his decision to call police.
I feel guilty because had I not called the Fort Worth Police Department, my neighbor would still be alive today.
That's it for your national news. Up next, we have your full weather forecast.
Fall break is here. It's time for fun, fresh air, and family. Currently, it's 64 degrees, but you might notice it feels a little bit warmer, up at 66. What's happening in your area? Let's go ahead and take a look. In Guyman, 75 degrees. It cools off a little bit more as we move to Altus, Lawton, and Durant. In Ardmore and Elk City, both 68 degrees. In OKC, it's 67 and 66 in Ada. 64 in Tulsa, followed by 63 in both Sallisaw and Ponca City. Miami, the coolest, at 61 degrees. Some things to expect for tonight's weather: 46 degrees, mild to strong winds ranging from 7 to 21 miles per hour coming in from the southeast. Humidity about mild, 64%. Some things for this weekend. Great news for your fall break. It's going to be sunny all weekend, mid-70s, little chance of rain, a perfect time to hang outside and play games with your friends. Over the next 5 days, here are some things to expect. Highs in the mid to high 70s, Thursday is going to be a high of 79, low of 53. Friday is going to also have 79 as its high, 58 as its low. Saturday, 76, low of 57. Sunday, a little bit warmer, 83 degrees, low of 52. Monday, cooling off significantly as it's 69 with a low of 49. That's that for this week's full forecast. Join us after the break for the latest in your entertainment corner.
Welcome to your Entertainment Corner. I'm your host, Nick Rogers. The man over Marvel's blockbusters is getting a bigger title. Kevin Feige is now not only the president of Marvel Studios, he is also the chief creative officer of Marvel. Feige already oversees the creative direction of Marvel and its superhero films. Under his new role, he will also be in charge of Marvel's publishing, television, and animation divisions. Marvel movies have broken several records under Feige's leadership and have brought in more than $22 billion at the worldwide global box office. We now know who will play Catwoman in Robert Pattinson's new Batman. Actress Zoe Kravitz has reportedly been cast in the role. The movie's director Matt Reeves tweeted a confirmation about the news Tuesday. Kravitz's stepdad Jason Momoa also reported a congrats to Kravitz on Instagram. The actress is best known for her role as Bonnie on HBO's hit series Big Little Lies. Kravitz is the daughter of actress Lisa Bonet and musician Lenny Kravitz. Batman is a Warner Bros. Project, and the studio hasn't yet confirmed the castings. That's it for your Entertainment Corner. We go back to the desk with your full sports report.
Thank you, Nick. Welcome to your Eagle Angle Sports Report. I'm Jenny Rigney. Oklahoma Christian's men and women's bowling teams began their second season ever on Saturday and Sunday at the Southwest Intercollegiate Bowling Circuit. For the men's team on Saturday at the SWIBC 1, they were in 5th place but rallied and jumped a spot during the tournament's 12 Baker games, finishing with a team score of 6,785 and a 4th place finish out of 14 teams. OC's top players on the day were sophomore Jacob Hastings, finishing 24th out of 142 players with a score of 908. Then on the following day, the Eagles played again in the SWIBC 2 and were able to make improvements from the day prior and came out with a 3rd place finish out of 14 teams with a team score of 6,288. Sophomore Josh Imhoff was OC's only player to compete in all 7 games and finished 7th out of 142 players with an average score of 194.3 and a total of 1360. And then for the women's team in their season opener on Saturday, the Lady Eagles posted a team score of 6,251, finishing 7th out of 9 teams in the SWIBC 1. Leading player for OC was sophomore Taylor Ryan, and she posted a score of 900 out of her individual games, which was good for placing 25th out of the 71-woman field. Following one spot behind Ryan was junior Abby Parks, who posted a total of 897. The next day in the SWIBC 2, the Lady Eagles finished 2 spots higher than the previous tournament, posting a total score of 5,894 for their 5th place finish. In the 73-woman field, Abby Parks finished 6th individually with a total score of 1,296. And then freshman Claire McDermott closed out the tournament strong and ended up with a final total of 1,240, which is good for a 13th place finish. The Eagles' next competition is this Saturday and Sunday at the Tier 1 Mid-State Champions. For both our men and women's cross-country teams, they traveled to Canyon, Texas to participate in the South Central Region Preview, which is where the regional championship will be held later this year. On the men's side, the Eagles recorded their first cross-country meet win since 2015 and posting a team score of 39 and had 4 runners in the top 10 of the 49-man field. though it is noted that some of the top squads in the race did not have some of their top runners competing. For the Eagles, freshman Owen Pierce, who on Wednesday was named the Lone Star Conference's Freshman Runner of the Week, took top honors on Saturday, finishing first with a time of 26 minutes, 1.26 seconds. And the women's cross-country team also had a successful outing at the regional preview, placing second out of the 5-team field with a team score of 53. West Texas A&M, who hosted the race, came away with the win, finishing with a score of 47. In the 6,000-meter race, OC senior Kelsey Castillo finished second out of 41 runners with a time of 23 minutes, 41.3 seconds, and was only a mere 3 seconds behind the first-place finisher from LCU. Both men and women's teams will compete next at the Lone Star Conference Championship on October 26th, and then will compete in the South Central Regional Championships November 9th at the West Texas A&M. And the Oklahoma Christian men's soccer team were home this past Saturday when they took on Texas Tyler. Texas Tyler was the first team to score in the 40th minute, but Oklahoma would respond late in the second half when Maxime Trebuchet would score his first goal of the season and to send the game into overtime. But Texas Tyler would go on to score in the 96th minute and would go on to beat Oklahoma Christian 2-1. The Eagles are now 4-5 on this regular season and 2-3 in conference play. Oklahoma Christian play here at home tomorrow when they will take on Midwestern State. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. And Oklahoma Christian's Lady Eagles went on the road twice this past week, and their first stop was on Thursday in Laredo, Texas, when they took on the Lady Dust Devils of Texas A&M International. The Lady Dust Devils took a quick lead, scoring in the 5th minute, and would go on to hold the Lady Eagles scoreless in the first half. But Oklahoma Christian would go on and tie it up in the 60th minute when Carson Hazel scored her first goal of the season. Then with less than a minute to go, the Lady Eagles' own Jordan Friedenblum would score her first goal of the season and the game-winning goal to give the Lady Eagles their first win of the season. Then Oklahoma Christian traveled to San Antonio, Texas this past Saturday to take on the Lady Rattlers of St. Mary's. St. Mary's would go on to score 2 goals in the first half and hold the Lady Eagles scoreless. St. Mary's would then add another goal early in the second half before OC's Carson Hazel would score her second goal of the season. St. Mary's would add 1 more goal and go on to beat Oklahoma Christian 4-1. The Lady Eagles are now 1-10 on the season and 1-5 in conference play. And the Lady Eagles will be back on the road tomorrow when they head to Wichita Falls, Texas to take on Midwestern State University, and kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Basketball season is right around the corner, and both our men and women's basketball teams are working hard to prepare for this 2019-2020 season. We met with both coaches and players on both teams on their media day on Monday to talk about this upcoming season in the new conference. Oklahoma Christian not only entered a new season, but a new conference as well. OC left the Heartland Conference and has now joined the powerhouse Lone Star Conference, which is 19 teams deep. We met with Coach Finley and Madison Coyer to talk about what they expect from this upcoming season.
Well, I think it's a little bit of an unknown. We've played some teams recently from the Lone Star Conference preparing for this, knowing that it could happen. And so we've tried to schedule some of them to see where we stand. But, you know, every year's a different year. We're excited to come into this year. We've been a little slow getting started. Of course, we haven't been able to practice a lot with the whole team yet, so I'm not even really sure what I've got. But we're looking forward to it. We have some people coming off of injury, so that's slowed us down in our training so far, but this week we are ready to go full speed.
I think we've talked as a team already that we're just super excited to get to play some of the new opponents and see what we actually are capable of doing, and we've talked about what we need to work on as a team to be able to compete with some of these bigger opponents. But we're also excited to get to play some teams that we got to play last year and maybe get some revenge on them, because just to see where we stand.
They also talked about what it means starting this year without Addie Cliff, who was the nation's leading scorer last year.
I think for me, and I know some of the other upperclassmen, we've been working really hard this summer just to improve our game and to be more vocal on the court, just to be able to step in and fill that leadership role. But we have so many good players on our team that you guys maybe haven't gotten to see yet that have a lot of potential. We have so many upperclassmen that I feel like can fill the role, and along with some underclassmen and freshmen coming in that I think can step in and really help us out this season. So I think I think we're going to go into the season, ready to compete and play and hopefully be able to step in and take that role and hopefully have a good season.
We better be in shape. There are several of those teams that just like to run, but then we also better be able to defend inside because there's several that have big, strong post players, and we've got to be able to slow them down somehow inside and be able to get the rebounds. There's a couple of those teams that girls with so much size, we can't get a rebound. We're letting them have second and third opportunities because they just tower over us or they bump us out of the way. So we've got to get better at being physical and holding our position and being able to rebound with those big teams. Now the smaller teams, like I said, they're going to run and gun, and we've just got to be able, but we kind of like to play that way, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
So we've got to be able to get up and down the floor, but then we've also got to be able to be physical. Their guards, I think overall their guards are probably bigger and stronger throughout the conference than what we've been playing against. So Maddie's going to have a good time trying to play with those physical, bigger, stronger guards, but she can get right around them. We're confident of that.
After meeting up with the women's team, we also met with the men's head coach, Coach Talley, and then senior Will Leonard and Marcus Blackwell to talk about what they thought of this upcoming season. As the men's team prepares for the new conference, former OC basketball star Kendra Talley also takes on a new position as this is his first year as OC's head coach. We talked to Talley, Leonard, and Blackwell about what it's like working with a new and young coaching staff.
Well, we're the fact that we're young and, like you said, energetic, we're just putting in a lot of time and grinding. That's one thing that we truly believe in. If you put in a lot of work and, just hard work and grind, that the rest will just kind of fall into place. And you're right with that one exception. It's the perfect blend.
Yeah, definitely. I think, the new coaching staff we got, I think they have they have a closeness, so they kind of rubbed off on us, and I think we're a really close team. I think we're all, every day we're ready to work hard, and I think we all want the same goals, and we make sure we keep each other accountable. So I think we're all excited and ready to get started.
We also talked about what the Eagles expect from their Lone Star debut.
I'm excited about, first off, being a part of one of the toughest conferences in the nation. And I feel good about our guys. We've been working hard every day and just putting a lot of time in, and they're growing closer together, and we're just ready to get everything going and get this conference and everything started.
Definitely. We're definitely excited about the new conference, and our coaching staff instills in us to grind, stay gritty, and we really have a dog-like mentality. Ultimate goal is to be respected in this conference and just take what we need by any means necessary, win games, hopefully get a championship, and that's where our outlook is.
Along with the new staff, the Eagles have brought back a familiar face to OC, former OC head coach Dan Hayes, who is now a special assistant to the head coach.
Sure, he's, he coached here 33 years and has put his own stamp on the game of basketball itself, especially for small college basketball. So just having him here is definitely beneficial for us. But the one thing that he's really letting us do is to kind of grow into our own identity. That was a huge question mark for a lot of people, him coming back and being able to play his role. But he's been doing a great job, and the guys love him, and we're just excited to have him back home.
Talley also spoke about senior Will Leonard, who is returning this year after leading the NCAA Division II in rebounds and was Heartland Conference's co-defensive player of the year.
It's a blessing to have Big Will back because he did leave a mark on D2 basketball. Doing what he did is very unheard of, and he has a mentality to do it again this year. So Hunter Staten and Dadrian Palmer, two guys that we picked up. Dadrian was actually All-American at USAO, so he brings in a lot of experience, and he shows these guys that, from day one when he first got here, just putting in the work. But I think we'll be a lot deeper this year, and I'm excited for what our bigs can do for us this year.
Yeah, definitely. Since high school has been a big part of it, because I know, I'm not necessarily going to score a lot, so if I don't score a lot, then I'm going to make sure no one else scores a lot. But so that's how I kind of go about it.
Reporting for Eagle Ingle, I'm Jenny Rigby. Both the men and women's teams will kick off their season with their homecoming games on Saturday, November 2nd at the Payne Athletic Center. The women will play at 1 p.m. and the men will play at 3 p.m. And just a reminder, we will be broadcasting these games along with all home games of our Eagles this season live on OC Eagle Media's Facebook page and Twitter page, on Cox and the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. And that's all I have for sports. We'll be right back after this short break.
knows better than anyone. The best place to explore is the forest.
She knows this monkey? Of course, she knows this monkey.
Experience nature.
Let's go.
Connect with family.
I love you guys.
And find your own adventure in a forest or park near you.
Let's do this. Come on, Boots.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Thank you for joining us once again. A young boy with cancer was given a special homecoming surprise before yet another round of chemo. Take a look at this.
The Greenville Christian School football team may have been on the field, but it was the Caddo Mills High School band cheering them on in the stands, all to brighten the day of Trevor Daniel, a Greenville Christian Eagle who is gearing up for another round of chemo.
Even beyond that, when we have our local community, like Caddo, reaching out to us and supporting us and being physically here with us at a football game, it's incredibly encouraging to us, and it just means the world to us.
The Caddo Mills band even missed part of a band competition to be at the game, something junior Madeline Roop says was well worth it.
This is better. I knew that this was his last weekend at home, and he's going through chemo again, so this could potentially be his last homecoming game. So I wanted to have the band come out and make it special.
An act of kindness off the field that doesn't go unnoticed by those on the field.
Things like this happen. That football, the game of football is small compared to these things.
And Trevor's fight isn't just inspiring people in the stands. The team's helmets display a prominent reminder of the battles being fought off the field.
Decided to put these on the back of their helmets. We scored touchdowns for Trevor Daniel.
A boy taking on a big battle.
To have a front row seat to watch something like this, it's been really, really difficult, quite frankly, in a lot of ways. But the strength that he's shown, the resolve that he's shown, he's our hero.
And a boy inspiring his community along the way.
Always be kind to people. It's never too much to make an impact on somebody's life. Thank you for watching Eagle Angle, where it's your campus,
your news.